In the mid-1980s, Nitro acquired an historic M1917 tank from a VFW post in Alexandria, Virginia. The city made a donation to that post for the right to display the vehicle. It was funded by the Nitro Benefits Association. The tank became a symbol of the city's roots as a wartime explosives manufacturer. But in 2005, the president of Nitro's Historical Commission died, and Jack Moody's heirs swiftly took the tank under the guise it was being refurbished. However, the vehicle was then sold to Indiana's Ropke Armor Museum, where it stayed for years. That facility closed, and now the M1917 resides at the National Museum of Military Vehicles in Du Bois, Wyoming.
This particular M1917 cost a little more than $1.2 million. It's the most expensive vehicle here in the museum, the most expensive vehicle in my entire collection. And so it's just special, really rare, special.
Efforts to reach Starks or any representatives of the National Museum of Military Vehicles have not been successful. In 2017, with the tank still missing, newly elected Governor Jim Justice joined the effort to get it back to the Mountain State. He sent a letter to the U.S. Army asking for help, closing his correspondence with, quote, "I would greatly appreciate any assistance you could offer in securing this World War I tank for a true World War I city." Nitro, West Virginia.
Did you feel pretty strongly about that the artifacts of the past help cement who we are as a people?
Of course, Kenny. I mean, when it really boils right down to it and everything, that letter basically was saying in 2017 that 100 years ago, there was this incredible war machine, and absolutely it was ours. It's part of us in West Virginia, the state that contributes more individuals, absolutely, that step up and have defended our nation over and over and over. Absolutely, we need our tank back. I mean, that's all there is to it.
However, Justice wasn't the only politician in 2017 fighting for the return of the tank. Nitro Mayor David Casebolt also contacted the military, writing, in part, quote, "This tank would be the focal point of our museum, serve as a monument to honor those who served our country in the building of Explosives Plant C, Nitro, and help celebrate our centennial and future tourism for our city." However, Casebolt has apparently changed his mind. The mayor has declined our interview request to talk about the tank, but has told me the city no longer wants it, a decision he says is supported by a majority of Nitro's Historical Commission members. Casebolt now says there's no place to store nor exhibit it properly, despite the Memorial Museum, which sits on the same block as City Hall.
Would you give any advice to Mayor Casebolt, or do you have any thoughts about the importance of, well, if Nitro doesn't want it, why should anybody else care about it?
We deserve to have our tank back. I mean, it's ours. And so, I totally understand, though, from the city of Nitro, Kenny, that, it takes dollars, and the city's probably trying to manage the city and do everything they can. And, lots of times you've got $1 and you got $3 worth of stuff that you got to tend to. And so, I get it. I understand, but from my standpoint, for me to be involved, there's got to be folks that really want to see it happen. Because when you look back, you got to see people charging up the hill with you.
While some city leaders say they no longer want the M1917 tank, the Nitro Historical Commission's vice president continues his Don Quixote-type crusade, tilting at armored windmills in an effort to return a piece of history to where he says it rightfully belongs.
We've shown our proof as to how we feel we own it. The other side, per se, has never done that. It's kind of like they've never been asked a question by the appropriate person. And I think that needs to be done. They should have to provide proof as how they feel they own a tank that is owned by the federal government.
In Nitro with this Eyewitness News investigation, I'm Kenny Bass.